That's astonishing. It's absolutely world class. Drama from day one. This is the league we want to watch. Only football can make you feel like this.
They think it's all over. It is now.
Well, yeah, and especially now with all these rumors flying around, like we know that
to Spurs.
Yeah, we know that transfer season's always crazy for the amount of rumors, but there's one rumor that I'm particularly excited about, and that's Serge Aurier to AC Milan. You know, Serge, he's just not that great. Like some of the tackles, you know, he's going to give a penalty away. You know, he's going to a red card waiting to happen. You know, some of the tackles he makes, like he connects with their necks. Like,
but wait, what's that saying? A bird in hand is worth more than two in the bush, or whatever. I mean, who would you bring in? That's what I want to know. Who would you bring in to replace Aurier?
Dude, why not? Like I think I said it last week. I would rather a youth player come up and play, because you know they're going to try their hardest. They're probably a lot fitter than Aurier, and I bet they can beat the first man if they try and cross. Aurier cannot do that for the life of him.
And that's what I like about Liverpool. Like they get like Trent came through the academy, Harvey Elliott's 17, and he could easily start for them if Salah's injured. Curtis Jones is Lallana's replacement. So you're right. So like you don't necessarily have to go out and buy like Man City always do, like a $50 million or pound centre back or right back or left back just because yours isn't that good. Like I mean Zinchenko, I don't think is necessarily good enough for City, but you could at least try that first and just go, let's just throw 500 million at a squad and see what happens.
But if there was somebody in the youth academy that was good enough, wouldn't they be playing by now? The only defender that's been playing for Tottenham from the youth academy is Tanganga. That's it. And nobody else.
You know, he had 2 games at right back. One of them he was incredible. The other one not so good. But I like the look of him. I think he's got that right level of aggression to sit comfortably in the defense. But
hopefully for your sake, he can turn out to be a good right back if Aurier does leave. Because if not, I don't see who you're going to bring in. Because
me neither, man.
Levy was not going to want to spend money at all, ever. So,
I mean, other than let Vertonghen leave on a free, where he could have actually got money back, and he chose not to.
Daniel Levy's a joker, mate. But like, if you're flipping the coin here to a team that will spend money, Jadon Sancho to Man United.
Oh my goodness.
They've already had
80 million or something mad, isn't it, up to this point?
Well, Dortmund's price tag for him is 120 mil.
Yeah.
Man United have put in an offer of around 80, I think I saw.
So what I've seen is that we're looking to pay 70 right now, and then 30 later, and then 20 in 2022. That's like, who knows how does that true? So
we're talking dodgy.
Hold on. We were talking about this last night, right? Man United is left-centric, right? Wan-Bissaka is a great defender, but as far as build-up and attacking-wise, he's not there yet. Obviously, he played as a winger, as a youth, but he's not there yet on the same level as Luke Shaw and Rashford who've been playing on the left. So if you look at the way Man United builds up, it all goes left. Matic is left-footed. Shaw can carry the ball and give it to Rashford. They can have interplay. But we have Greenwood and Wan-Bissaka on the right. Greenwood is a teenager. Finishing, top marks, right? But as far as build-up, he doesn't have that yet. They have Wan-Bissaka who just as soon as he gets the ball, if he can't go anywhere, he's just going to turn around and pass it back or pass it to the middle. So we have that where everything goes to the left or through the middle. So if we have Sancho on the right, we have to have a playmaking winger who can actually hold the ball, carry the ball, create something from the right, and we have dual threat from both wings. I've said this before. When we played Leicester City, all they tried to do was try to shut down the middle because they know that we're going to try and go through Pogba to Fernandes. So we couldn't really create much because we couldn't go through the middle. If we have threats from both sides of Rashford and Luke Shaw, and then Sancho on the right, which Wan-Bissaka maybe he develops the season into more of an attacking wingback, then that is a huge just leg up for us where we have threats on both sides and threats in the middle, so people can just load up the midfield.
I think you're going to stifle Greenwood's development and growth if you bring Sancho in, and there is no and there is absolutely no proof that United will still not be left-centric when it comes to attacking just because Sancho is there, because they do have left-footed midfielders, and they do tend to go on the left side and rely heavily on Rashford and Luke Shaw, because Luke Shaw is pretty good when it comes to making overlapping runs. So there's nothing to say that you won't be left-centric attacking even when Sancho comes. But if I was Mason Greenwood, I would be very unhappy about that.
I wouldn't. If I was Mason Greenwood, I'd be saying, Martial, get out my place in the team. Because Martial,
good.
He's so 50-50. Like
Martial has been all that attacking. Greenwood, Rashford, Martial, all three have been very, very good since the restart. And
yes,
Martial,
that's the key, though.
Martial has produced really well, being that striker role. So I think you can exchange him and Rashford every now and then and switch them up if Rashford is injured. But more than anything, I think United really just need a center forward that's going to be Martial's backup. And I don't think Greenwood is a center forward kind of guy. I think he prefers to cut in from the right.
Interesting.
That's just me.
No, but I hear what you're saying about stifling Greenwood, because, I mean, nobody doubts Greenwood's talent, honestly. The only other, like, promising English talent that you could argue is better than him is Phil Foden right now. And there's lots of arguments saying that Greenwood is better than Foden. That's a whole just, like, different argument, right there.
Chelsea has no use at all, though, right?
Say what?
Chelsea has no use at all. Mason Mount doesn't exist.
Mount is not on Greenwood's level, man. Have you seen Greenwood's finishing? He can finish right, left, being pushed away from the ball. Come on, man.
I think Hudson-Odoi is definitely Greenwood's level. I think his work ethic is lacking, and I think Mason Mount is better than Phil Foden and Greenwood.
I'm just gonna let that slide because that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah,
that's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about.
Based on that, then Harvey Elliott's better than all of them.
Yes, with his 55-minute performances, he is.
Well,
but I hear what you're saying though. Like Mason Greenwood, yes, his development could get stifled by Jadon Sancho coming in. I totally agree with that. But at the same time, though, if he has Sancho coming in, that's another person to learn from. Also, it gives him, and it also helps him with not becoming complacent, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm this 18-year-old that's starting for Manchester United. I just can like show up and do whatever. I can play PS4 the night before and show up, the day of." Because Solskjaer had a comment saying, the nights he's been playing PS4 the night before, and he's just not there for it. You're a professional footballer. You can't be staying up to like 2 a.m. playing PS4, man, before an important game.
Usain Bolt used to eat chicken nuggets before he won a gold medal. I mean,
I think that's just a lack of leadership on the United side. Because I'll tell you what, man, if Roy Keane was in that team, I don't think they'll play PlayStation before playing at nighttime. So I think it comes down to leadership. But that's not to say Sancho is actually gonna be any more mature or not play video games or anything like that. And you also have Daniel James. I think Sancho would be a bad buy for United. Waste of money, I do think. But you guys have been wasting a lot of that lately.
Oh my goodness! Please do not.
There are other areas you should probably strengthen first.
I agree with that.
And stack to the front. I mean, Matic is on his way out. Maguire just seems like a bit of a 50-50 choice. I mean,
or means Kurt Zuma. Let's be honest.
Oh, get out of here! You're just trying to rile me up. You just want to rile me up. I'm not even gonna stoop to your level, man.
I mean, honestly, I think you need to get a new goalkeeper over a right winger.
Dude, I'm so conflicted, man. I am so conflicted on that one because De Gea has proven himself. We in past seasons would not have finished anywhere we finished without De Gea. So you can't. For me, I cannot forget that at all. Obviously he's not played his best this season. But I can't just say, okay, this has been not his best season, and then act like he has not had great seasons. Like I can't. That's just disrespectful to him.
And he has
I know last season he was dropping a few too. I mean, I just look at past seasons are great, but there's a time with every player where you just have to kind of accept they're done. And like with Liverpool, when they got Alisson in, the difference in team performance, and they all just believed in him. Just going forward, they knew we've got a chance. Like you look at the Napoli Champions League game. Where with 30 seconds to go, Alisson makes a save that kept him in it, which they went on to win the tournament. It's plays like that you look at it and go, they obviously trust him. Whereas I think De Gea now, you look at the way they play, I think there's just that seed of doubt at this point where they just kind of wonder, is he going to save it or not?
So the thing is though, so De Gea is still a top level shot stopper. The goals he's let in have been just like the dumbest goals. It's like, oh, a shot right next to me. What do I do? Oh man, my wrists are made of jello. It went in. Like it's just like like the weakest of shots, But then crazy shot, just like he just reacts like he's Spider-Man or something, saves it, right? Yeah. But the thing is, though, we have Dean Henderson, right, who has been in the Premier League with Sheffield United. So the thing is that so you can argue if Dean Henderson is ready to be the number one for Man United or not. There's arguments both ways. But the thing is that if we do get rid of De Gea, we have to make Dean Henderson our number one. And I'm not sure if Dean Henderson is our number one. I do not want to lose Dean Henderson. If we lose Dean Henderson, that would be horrible management. Because we will definitely regret that. I don't see how we do not regret getting rid of if we lose Dean Henderson. So if we get rid of De Gea, Dean Henderson has to be number one. So it's just that's what makes it tricky for me because I don't think Dean Henderson is ready to be number one. But then how do you keep him? And then it's managing all that.
Dude, United are doing it absolutely right in my opinion. What they've done is they've told Sheffield United you can have Dean Henderson for another year. Dean Henderson will be ready to start for United in another year. Keep De Gea for another year, Just and then it's like I know this is going to be a rough statement, but if De Gea has a bad season, you've got that in your locker. So if he has a bad season, it almost doesn't matter because you don't have to spend money on that position in the future. Sure, United are going to want to have a fantastic season and have an amazing goalkeeper, but in a year's time, I think we'll be talking about this, saying Dean Henderson's going to come back and take De Gea's place. So I think personally, you guys need to get another centre back. And I'm not sure if I've seen any rumours linking with centre backs, but if you get one, it's spot on.
I agree we need another centre back, but the problem is I think we have either 7 or 8 centre backs right now. We have Maguire, Lindelof, Eric Bailly, Axel Tuanzebe, Phil Jones, Smalling.
Smalling's coming back, yeah.
Yeah, he's coming back. And then Marcos Rojo. So we have, I think I stopped counting. I think that was like 7. So we have to offload Deadwood before we can bring in more people. Because who's going to have 8 center backs at a club? That doesn't make any sense at all.
And you could easily sell 5 of them who just aren't good enough.
Yeah. So, but then we have to get rid of them first before we can bring in anybody new, because our whole wage structure just blown out of the water with Sanchez, and then De Gea saying, "Hey, I need more money because I'm having a great season," and Sanchez is our top paid player, which made sense. It's like, but yeah.
Well, I do think that you guys probably need to bring in a solid midfielder to cover for Matic, because I don't know how much longer Matic has. He is 33.
Yeah.
So I don't think with the compact Premier League schedule, especially starting later in September 12th, and all the games that United is going to be involved in, I don't think he's going to have the legs to do it, and I don't think Fred is a very viable option as a replacement for him. So you'll have Bruno Fernandes and you'll have Pogba, and we know how OGS loves to rotate players. So I think there's going to be a lot of tired feet, and I do think United is going to be very susceptible to injuries next season. So getting another midfielder or two to cover that spot, I think would be a perfect thing for United.
What about McTominay? Is he viable?
So I think McTominay and Fred are almost in the same category. So they can, when they play, they will harass the midfield. They will roam around, make sure whoever has the ball does not have a good time, right? That whoever has the ball in the opposition's team is not going to just stroll around, right? But what Matic offers, though, he actually holds the ball and will distribute from deep. McTominay and Fred do not have that element. They are nowhere near that. So, and honestly, Matic, he can act as a defensive midfielder, but he's more of a deep line playmaking midfielder. I want to say playmaking, but he can distribute the ball from deep. McTominay and Fred do not have that. So, yes, they can replace him in just the defensive midfield role, but then you just lose a huge element of moving the ball forward. Because the only other person that will be able to move the ball forward from deep would be Maguire and Pogba. And you want more of that because you don't want Maguire having to leave his position, and then you want to be able to give Pogba some release. So if they're gonna just shut down Pogba and Fernandes, you have another option. It's like, okay, yeah, you give him the ball, and then he's gonna spread the ball wide. So that's what both of them are lacking, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, looking at the post-lockdown Premier League top 6, United are in second with 21 points, 3 points behind City. If United can keep the momentum, that's great. But if Ollie can keep those youth players in content to come in for a little bit of backup and keep that squad rotation going, like Brato said, that's what they need. Now, Chelsea look to be signing Havertz. We've spoken about it before.
We're waiting on that.
Just waiting for and I really hope he does, because I'd love to see him in the Prem. But again, Chelsea doing a lot of attacking signings. I wonder if they're going to bring in any defenders or not. I hope they do, just to make Chelsea more rounded.
I'd rather they don't.
I mean, they honestly have to. Antonio Rudiger is not what he was even a year ago. His quality he's shown a lot. He's made a lot of mistakes. His quality seems to have dissipated into thin air. Kurt Zouma is our best defender, which is crazy. I think we need to get rid of 2 players, and I think it's got to be Kurt Zouma, who I just said is our best defender since that lockdown, and Antonio Rudiger. I don't think it will happen because of all the Germans coming in. I think we want to keep Antonio Rudiger. But honestly, I love Fikayo Tomori. I thought he played so well when he actually did get a start under Lampard.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. I honestly, I he had an injury, and then he was just out. And I think that's one thing I've noticed with Frank Lampard is he plays his defenders until they get injured. Once they get injured and someone else comes in, even when they're back fit, he doesn't replace them until someone else gets injured.
Yeah, I wonder what. Because
Sorry, go on.
Sorry. Just I'm saying what you're saying. Like when Fikayo played, like I thought he looked great, and then just like disappeared. I kind of forgot he was on the team.
Yeah. I know he plays so well, and I think Christensen is such a good defender with so much potential. If we just had some leadership in the back line, like a solid center back that they could learn from, like whether it's Tomori, whether it's Christensen, I think that we would be so good because both Christensen and Tomori are so fast, and they're able to actually distribute the ball pretty well. I mean, I think Rudiger probably has the best distribution when he has time on his feet, but he's so flaky that anytime a little bit of pressure comes his way, he fucking boots it for a throw-in. It's like he could have a man 15 feet away from him running towards him, and he's like, oh, here's the throw-in. He might miskick it and just kick it out for a corner kick and get scored on, but, you know. So I definitely think we need a center back. I don't know who we can bring in, but I think we'll be very susceptible without some leadership in the back. And I don't think, as for Quetta, I think he's a good leader. I think he's one of the best one-on-one defenders. But unless we're getting someone on the left back, unless we're buying a left back and putting Aspie in the center back role, I think we'll just we'll struggle.
Yeah, I agree.
mean, you could have got Ake if you wanted.
I don't know why we didn't.
Yeah.
We're probably going to go for Declan Rice and slot him in the back, you know. Center defense and center back.
Maybe Chelsea knows something about Ake that we don't. I mean,
maybe.
I think
There must be something.
You know, Lampard might have texted Ollie about something about Ake, because I don't know if you saw when Man United played Bournemouth, like Ollie's talking to Ake, you know, and then Chelsea, they already know all about Ake, so it's like, hey, let's trick City into signing Ake. And then it's like, hey, when you play Bournemouth.
I mean, that's what Leicester did with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, stop with the hate. Stop with the hate.
So
what?
You'll give us $80 million and we'll give you Harry Maguire.
So I will say this. Maguire gets a lot of hate. He hasn't played the best, but he's definitely been an upgrade, and he's definitely helped our defense. It's not his fault that we played $80 million for him. That was us. Number one, he's English. So, and then it's also Man United coming. So, you know, we're screwed in both those in both those categories right there. So we're gonna have to pay more than we need to pay for him anyways. But it's not his fault that we paid that much for him. He's definitely not played as the best defender ever, but I still think he's played as a great defender.